Multiplication of decimals. We want to find the product. In other words, we want to multiply. And when you're multiplying decimals, you don't line up the decimal. Instead, you make sure that the farthest right digits are lined up. So we're multiplying 0.24 times 2.7. And we go through this just like any multiplication problem. I start with the 7. 7 times 4 is 28. So carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 more is 16. And 7 times 0 is 0 plus 1. And then we fill in a 0 under the 8 and start multiplying by the 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. And then, of course, 2 times 0 is just 0. And then you add. So we have 8, 14, 6. Now we have to figure out where to put the decimal. So go back to the original problem. The first number is 0.24, and you take note of how many decimal places are represented. There are 2 numbers after the decimal. For the second number, 2.7, there's only 1 number after the decimal. So the total number of decimal places we have, you add those together, is 3. So I move my decimal 3 places to the left. Starting with to the right of the 8, that's where invisible decimal places live, I move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So my final answer is 0.648. Let's try another one. Multiply 0.000358 by 3.56. So we'll set that up and make sure the back digits, the farthest right digits, are underneath each other. We want to multiply. So first with the 6, 6 times 8 is 48. Carry the 4. 6 times 5 is 30, so that would be 34. 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21. We'll just bring down that 2, and we don't have to fill in all those zeros. A 0 under the 8, and then we're going to work with the 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry the 4. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 4 more is 29. Carry the 2. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17. Now I need to fill in 2 zeros. And working with the 3, 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 more is 17. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. Now I add, so 8, 4, 14, 17, 2, and 1. Now to find the decimal, where the decimal goes. Looking at the first number, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decimal places. 6 digits to the right of the decimal. The second number has 2 digits to the right of the decimal. I add those. So my answer has to have 8 digits to the right of the decimal. So I need to actually count left 8 places from my final digit. So the decimal moves from to the right of the 8. I've got to go 8 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've run out of digits. So I'm going to fill in zeros to get the remaining spaces that I need. Okay, so I'm at 6, 7, 8, and the decimal goes right there. So there's my final answer. Let's look at a couple of little word problems. We're not afraid of word problems. Just going to read them and be very calm. A welder relocates from Denver to Boston, which is 1,971 miles. What is the welder's IRS mileage deduction for relocating if the rate is $0.165 per mile, round to the nearest cent? So every mile we travel, we get to take a deduction of $0.165. So we've traveled a number of miles. The number of miles we have traveled is multiplying. It's increasing. So we're going to use multiplication to figure this out. We are multiplying the number of miles times the rate per mile. With word problems, if you are one of my Access students, we're going to make up the rule that if it's a word problem, use your calculator to do the calculations, and you don't have to do it out by hand. So in your calculator, you're going to type in 1971 times 0.165. You can put a 0 in front of the 0.165 if you want to, but you don't have to. So when we put all that into our calculator, we end up with 325.215. But it said to round to the nearest cent. So if you think about money, money always ends 2 places after the decimal. So I need to round. I want to end up with only 2 places after the decimal, where the 1 is. Look to the right. If it's 5 or bigger, we bump the 1 up. And it is. So our final answer is going to be $325.22. A second word problem. You bought a car for $5,000 down and made payments of $499.50 each month for 36 months. Find the amount of payments over the 36 months. How much did you make in payments during that time frame? So we're going to multiply again. We're going to multiply $499.50 every month times 36 months. Put that in your calculator. 499.50 times 36, and we have $17,982. So that's how much we made in payments over the 36 months. Part B says find the total cost of the car. In addition to those payments that we made, at the very beginning, we paid $5,000 before we even started making payments. So to get the total always means add. We're going to add the $5,000 down plus the $17,982 we made in payments. So in the calculator, adding all that up, the grand total of the cost of the car is $22,982.